Hey there, I'm Brittany Schroeder, and business and marketing are my jam. I'm here to walk you step by step through this crazy thing we call business. I'm a small town girl, chocolate eating, Diet Coke drinking mom, marketing guru, automation Jedi, and all around good time. This is your weekly dose of all things business and life, sprinkled with some fun. This is the Redefine Business Podcast. Welcome to another episode of Redefine Business Podcast. I'm excited about our guest today. I have definitely had SEO on my brain lately. I've been, talking to a lot of people about SEO. We've had a few guests on here where we have touched on SEO, and there's so many different elements of SEO. So I am super excited to have on the podcast today, Erin of Maven Made Copy. Welcome, Erin, to the podcast.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, tell my listeners just a little bit about yourself, what you do, how you got to where you're at, just all of the things.
Yeah, so I started my business actually during COVID, partly because I was really bored, as I'm sure a lot of people can relate to, and partly because I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur and start my own business. So I originally started as a virtual assistant because I didn't really know what I wanted to do yet. Was just kind of exploring, dipping my toes in. And actually this year, I officially niched down to offer blog writing services and SEO.
Awesome. And I think that, something that I often talk about with entrepreneurs is, finding, and I've been really pushing this a lot, especially with some of my clients and in my membership, is to don't just have one source of traffic, meaning don't just have social media, don't depend on social media. And I think with ChatGPT and different services like blog writing, that we need to pay attention to SEO and not forget that people are Googling every day, solutions to their problems, including business owners. And so SEO can be such a powerful tool in running a business. So talk a little bit about what you're seeing with SEO and the types of results that you get for your clients.
Yeah, it is interesting that you bring up social media, because social media is a platform that, although we have profiles on it, we don't own it. And it's really scary when Instagram goes down, for example, because we're like, oh my gosh, I can't get connected to people. I don't know what to do. And the solution to that is your website. You do own your website. You own everything on your website. You can control the traffic that's coming to you. And that's why you need to focus on SEO as part of your marketing strategy, because that is the platform. Your website is the platform that you can always rely on. So that is something I truly believe in, and I always preach to my clients. And it's a reason that I did niche down to blog writing, because blogs do help bring qualified traffic to your website. It brings the right people to your website, not just the randos that happen to get to you. And what I'm seeing with SEO is that it's really important to build credibility with search engines. I just recently, like I said, relaunched my business. So I have a new website. And so I'm going through it with you. I am trying to build that credibility on search engines. And it can be difficult. It can take time, but there are proven strategies to help you get there.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's interesting because you said it brings the right people to your website and into your funnel. That's what I focus a lot about on is funnels. And if you think about social media, sometimes people get these big followings, they go viral. So they will post a reel or something like that and people go viral. But is it really attracting the right type of people to, your ideal audience? And I think what's different about SEO and blogging is you're writing blogs, you're writing content that is specific questions or specific answers to people's questions. They're looking for you. And there's not really a way to search that on social media. So blogging can be such a great thing, a great asset to your business. Did you have anything you wanted to add to that?
Yeah, just there's so many benefits to blogging. And one of it, like you said, is educating your audience and like establishing yourself as an expert. Because when you're writing those high quality articles and you're answering people's questions, they're going to start to come to you naturally. They're just going to stop Googling because they know you're going to have the answers for them.
Yeah, yeah. Well, today we decided when we were trying to pick a topic, because I've had a few SEO people on as of late, and one of the topics that we were discussing was backlinks. So can you explain what are backlinks? And dumb it down for my audience. And not that my audience is dumb, you're very intelligent, but that is dumb it down for me so that that's how I learn the best. So explain backlinks and how they work.
So backlink is a link from a different website back to yours. And imagine that you put a link to someone else's website on your own website, maybe in a blog, let's say. So if you're saying 50% of people do blah, 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 you probably want to link to a study that actually backs that up. That would be a backlink for that website. You likely trust that website, that person, and consider them really authoritative on that topic. So search engines will start to recognize that and recognize their authority on that topic. So the goal of backlinks is to really just earn some credibility with search engines. And your goal really is to get other people to link back to your website.
Yeah. I was recently having a discussion with a friend on SEO. We were actually talking about backlinks, and kind of a hack that I learned as of late is that's why it's beneficial to be on other people's podcasts. Because, for example, I will put you're on my podcast, but my podcast goes out on Spotify, on, iTunes, all those different like platforms, iHeartRadio, all those places. And so it's like those like Spotify are putting your website on there, and those are considered backlinks. But then I was talking to a guy and so I learned that hack as of late. But another one was an even more powerful link is when you use those keywords. So for example, if I am I'm a guest blogging on somebody's website and they're referencing sales funnels, and they link that back to my website, that's an even more powerful backlink because it's a specific topic or keyword that's relevant to my business. So there's lots of different forms of getting backlinks. You can do directories. There's lots of different ways. So how important are backlinks as far as your SEO go? Is it, because we think like keywords and content, but how important are backlinks?
Yeah, so backlinks are kind of like an endorsement from another website to tell search engines that they think your content is valuable. So it's like a little gold star, like, I love this person, they are the best. And Google starts to recognize that. And they will start to rank you higher in search results because search engines recognize that you are an authority and an expert on this topic. So it's instead of you saying, I'm an expert, someone else is saying they're an expert, and that earns you more credibility. And really, backlinks help to increase what's called your domain authority, which is basically just it's a grade for how well you're optimizing your website for SEO. So the higher grade you have, or the higher domain authority you have, the more credibility you have with search engines.
Yeah. Okay, so how do you get backlinks? What are strategies on getting backlinks?
Yeah, so you actually mentioned a few. First is guest blogging. So writing an article to be featured on someone else's website, and typically they'll let you put a little author bio and have your website in there, or you can sprinkle links back to your website throughout the article. So to find these opportunities, you can just search your industry plus guest blogging, and you can find opportunities that way. Another way is guest podcasting. So here we are. Find some podcasts that align with your industry or topics that you're willing to talk about, and pitch them to be a guest on their podcast. And they will include a link to your website or sometimes like a freebie that you offer. Other ways are just networking with other people in the entrepreneur space. You can collaborate with them on projects or giveaways, stuff like that. You mentioned online directories, which is a great place to have a backlink. You'll sign up for a directory or an online community, and you'll have a little profile that will have your website linked. And typically those kind of platforms will have like a big list of their members, and it's open to the public so people can search through that list. Another way is to apply to be a speaker for virtual conferences or summits. Again, speakers will typically have a little bio and profile. You can link your website or sometimes your Instagram to get some backlinks that way. A really good way too is to create valuable shareable content. So this is a really organic way to get more backlinks. If you're sharing a lot of valuable content on your blog or on your website, then people are just going to naturally link to it because it's really good content. That's a really good organic way to get some backlinks. Another thing is to, those list posts where it's like top 10 business tools or something like that. You can actually reach out to those websites and ask to be featured on that list post. So list posts are really easily consumable content. People love to read those because they're really skimmable. It's just straightforward. Here's the content. So if you could be featured in something like that, a list post like that, that's a really good way to get a backlink too.
Yeah, those are some great ideas. Another one that I know of is there's a website called, the acronym is HARO, Help a Reporter Out. And you can sign up for their emails, and it's people looking for, you put in the topics that you specialize in, and they send you an email. They're looking for contributors. So I did that for a little while. I mean, sometimes that can be a lot of work with a little return, but you can. So those are all like such great tips on how to get backlinks. And I also think it's important to understand that it takes time. SEO has a way longer lifespan, meaning you can write a piece of content and you can rank and it can show up in searches for years and years and years, as opposed to social media where you post something and then it's gone in like a day or hours or whatever. So, but you don't have that instant gratification. It takes a little bit longer to build it, but it lasts a lot longer. So I think that's just something to always like remind people of, that it takes a little bit more work, but it lasts a lot longer. So this has been so helpful. Eden, tell my listeners how they can find you, how they can work with you, all the things.
Yeah, so you can find me over at mavenmadecopy.com. Same thing on Instagram, mavenmadecopy. Feel free to DM me or email me with any questions about backlinks or kind of just the SEO strategy in general around content. I would love to connect with you.
Awesome. Okay, Eden, I like to, and we'll put her information in the show notes, but I like to end all my podcasts with asking my guests 2 questions. So Eden, the first one is, what is a pet peeve?
A pet peeve is when people are stopped at a green light. That really just bugs me.
They're on their phone. They're on their phone. Let's be honest.
They're on their phone.
Yes.
Yeah. I am not afraid to honk at people when it's their turn to go and they're stopped.
Yes. Okay. What's a simple pleasure?
Well, I'll take it as a guilty pleasure. And right now it's watching Love Island USA.
Oh,
very addicted right now.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Awesome. Well, Eden, thank you so much. This has been so helpful. And I hope that all of our listeners have found this stuff helpful, and reach out to Eden, give her a follow, all the things. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. It was great talking to you.
Let's not stop the party here. Head on over to my Instagram or Facebook group, Redefine Your Business, and let me know your thoughts about today's show. I will see you again, same time, same place, next week.